6 people. We've got 6 viewers. Come on, people. Ask me some chat. Ask me some questions. Participants. Ben. We've only got Ben in the chat at the moment. Hardcore Ben, haven't you? Just editing this week's video. Got a lot to do. Come on, you lurkers. Charlie Church, are you watching? Will it stop raining, Ben? Who knows, mate? Driving the dog into everyone. Still, I think it's meant to be all right the rest of the week. Have a quick look. Not too bad. Not too bad. A bit of rain Friday, possibly Saturday. Next week's not looking too good either. Just me and you at the moment, Ben. Although we've got 7 people. We've got 7 people viewing now. A whopping 7 people. I mean, I've got nearly 3,000 subscribers. Where are they all? Have a look. What are you paying 1,000, mate? Depends. Depends where it is, who you are, what you do, how good you are, how many's in the game. Depends. It's not always about the rate either. A lot of people get fixated on the rate, but you can earn more money on a lower paying job than you can on a higher rate job if the jobs run better and you haven't got insulation and things like that. So don't always, someone might pay £700 1,000, but you might be laying Staffordshire Blues with a recessed joint. So nice and simple. You want it simple and plenty of work in front of you. The rate, half decent rate nowadays, you earn decent money anyway. Quiet tonight. Mind you, it took a while to get going the other night. I ended up on here about an hour and a half. I was on here, I think. Wonder where the night went. Can't be that long tonight. After a start 10 and 3. What area are you from, Jamie? Bristol. Most of our work is Swindon at the moment. Possibly something coming up in Malmesbury, which would be the closest one to you. Possibly. But yeah, 10 and 3, Jamie, it's a big old lump of work you need to keep you going. It's hard this time of year, not really focusing on brickies too much. It's more about getting the plots across the line for Christmas. But my email address is in, if you go on my channel, click on the about or something in there, you'll see my email address in there. Drop us an email, mate, and I can give you a ring and see what's going on. Bricky Bry's back. How's the daily graph been today? It's been all right, Bry, to be honest, mate. Been stuck in the office a little bit today and then got out a couple of site visits. My sister's getting married Friday, so we're off to the wedding tomorrow. Who are you working for at the moment, Jamie? We got 10 people now. 10 people and only 3 in the chat. Come on, 11 people. Picking up now. It's more than I had the other night. Charlie, drop me a WhatsApp if you're watching. What have we done? Oh, better now. Barrett's. Yeah, probably got rigid insulation, have you? Rigid insulation, silver tape, red buttons. I don't know how you do it. Yes, we do use brick jackets, Bry. We do. Not everywhere. It's getting people to look after them, to be perfectly honest. They are good and they do do what they say on the tin, but they're not cheap and people don't look after them. That's the trouble. If you've got a decent foreman who could be trusted and take them from plot to plot, good investment. Other trades, Rob and Bry, yes, they do, and they use them as rubble sacks and stuff like that. But you can get your logos put on them. I do wish we could just roll them out across all the jobs, but the fact of the matter is people don't move them from plot to plot, and you could just end up spending thousands. So sometimes the old faithful put the old spot board on it. Yeah, so you have got rigid insulation, Jamie. Yeah, see, I take a lesser rate and prefer to have cavity blown insulation. Brick first course on DPC. Do you mean your internal briquette? What to probably keep your sheet course in? Probably. Still a nightmare. Yeah, bricks are sticking out, and you've got to get it below damp. And would you get a square meter for that? £2. Is it easy for me to turn off from work in a social setting? Depends who I'm with, to be honest, bro. Depends who I'm with. Sometimes when we're together as a family, typically the work is spoken about. But it's what we do. It's what we do all day, every day. So I don't tend to talk about work when I'm out with people who are not in the industry. But I tend to talk to like-minded people anyway. I haven't got many friends, to be perfectly honest with you. So you're getting £20 a metre, is that including the insulation, Jamie, is it? And it's all block work, what, both skins, inside and out? But so really, you're probably doing that insulation at a loss. What you want is a couple of apprentices, or just hire someone relatively um, low wages and get them to do the insulation. So what I used to do is have two or three lifts on the go, and then I'd do the block work on one lift, and then I'd leave it, go and do the block work on another lift, and then whilst the other lift was getting insulated, then go around and face it up. It's not so bad in the summer. You can get the insulation going as you go along, but in this time, especially how wet it's been, there's a couple of bowway jobs down your way. Get on them. They got cavity blown insulation. Yeah, so it's probably even harder to earn money, Jamie. To be honest, if you're doing render plots, not it's not the subby's fault. If you count up how many blocks are in it, there won't be many blocks. But as you know, when you get your windows and you're cutting, you got to do halves, and it takes longer to build a bloody rendered house than it does a brickwork house, and you get a fraction of the money. So don't do any rendered plots and don't do anything with insulation. Now you got to do the odd rendered one, but yeah, I know Balway got a couple of sites down your way. They do good house types, no insulation, normally a well run site. Bro, you don't need any friends, mate. Get a dog. Yeah, I am filming at the wedding, Josh, but it's got to be vetted by your fiance. So there'll be a lot on the cutting room floor because I'm not allowed to reveal too much on the old Sunday night video. It's not really the place to be showing the wedding video, I suppose. So Lucy's going to vet it, and then once we get the nod, I can put it. I can upload it. Most sites around here are day work with a ganger trying to whip you. Well, that's what they're paid to do, Jamie. That's the whole idea. But if you're a 10-3, I mean, someone really should snap you up, to be honest. If you're a decent guy. Who do you currently work for? Oh, we're up to a whopping 13 people now. 13 people, and we've got 3 people in the chat. Come on, don't be shy, people. I've got 11 minutes left. I've got to do some editing. Now I've got to cut my hair ready for the wedding. 14 people now. I think that's a record. Any abuse? There's a little bit of abuse the other night. That was nice. How many episodes are you hoping to take A&D up to? So the more I learn about YouTube, the more it evolves. So I'm dropping the episodes. So apparently it's a bad idea to do episodes. So I'm no longer doing episode 43, 44, etc. And I'm just going to continue as long as I keep enjoying it, really. So we're at about 4 million views, nearly 3,000 subscribers. So I'm just going to keep going, and then there is a sort of plan with the channel at some point. Hey Liam, here's Liam, my little bro. Here he is. Can I have your opinion on Charlie Collison? Yep, you sure can. Not really sure my opinion counts, but in what respect? I mean, he's got 444,000 subscribers, so he's probably earning, I don't know, maybe 100 grand a year for YouTube. And he's decent bricky. Can't say, he don't get everything right, but he puts himself out there. But I kind of like Charlie Collison. He's all right. I picked up a few tips off him. You should be able to learn something from everyone. Why don't realise everything is price work if you're on shift or not? Things are only worth what they're worth. Not really sure I understand that, Mark, to be honest. Liam, who's the best bricklayer you work with? Probably Chris Cook. No, Giuseppe. Giuseppe he features in our videos a little bit. Definitely the best bricky that I've worked with. Not a lot he don't know. Come on, Bri. He's probably on the split with her, so that's why she's mucking in. Who's your favourite brother? I don't have a favourite brother. Who's your favourite brother? Yeah, thanks. That's only because you got my golf clubs for tomorrow. Try not to snap any of them up, mate. Mark, was it you that notified us about Mickey Friel's funeral? I'm sure it was you. I'm sure it was a Smith, Mark Smith. If it was you, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, me and my dad popped along on yesterday. It was, yeah. So thanks. What we saying then, chat about what we saying, recession or no recession? What do we think? Sometimes we go to winter hours, Bry, 8 till 4. Um, but really, there's always something to do. To be perfectly honest, don't get me wrong. Can't go walking up the site if it's too dark. But we expect people to toe the line. To be perfectly honest with you, and just we don't want to dock them the hours. It's coming into Christmas, but people have got to play the game. Yeah, I do agree with you about the gang is obviously pushing for a reason, Mark. If he's on price work, he needs to get it done in a certain amount of time to earn his money. And people don't realise that sometimes you've got a huge wage bill, 10, 15, 20 lads on a site, and there's a lot of work. You can earn a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. So um, yeah, Liam pushes him, and he's on the shift. Doesn't reveal how much he's on a shift. Gets more than me. Bricky from Stoke. Yeah, that's my motto. It's always something to do. That's right. Very good bricklayer taught me that. Ganger is on a bonus for a subby. So, well, the gang is there to protect the subby, Bry. He's not. It's not just a free for all. Some people don't want the hassle, Jamie, of going on price work. I know plenty of good bricklayers that don't want to go on price work, or can't even just handle the additional pressure of going on price work. It's not necessarily because they're not hardworking or they're lazy. Some people don't want the pressure of being on price work. And plus, subbies need a bit of day work as well. Sometimes you've got to be interchangeable, send people from here to there, take over a lift, whatever it may be. So you need a balance. Where's Changi? Not sure. He's probably putting the kids to bed. How long would your company be able to tick over without work before you'd have to lay people off? Good question, right? Too hard to answer, to be perfectly honest. It depends, not long if all the sites built at their current rate, but they won't. But then if each site slows down, then it need less brickies. So there's a whole conundrum to work out that. Impossible to answer, to be truthful. Exactly. On day work. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to go and do a few bits on day work, and you need day workers to go and do some bits. Price work gangs want to crack on to balance for everyone. Um, I think high rises are a specialist, Bry, to be honest. I think it takes a different level of supervision. I think it takes a different level of pricing. I think if you look at some of the stuff Lee Marley does, for example, does a lot in, say, in London, Canary Wharf, the O2. I mean, I've seen some of his work. I've got a friend who works for him, and the stuff they do is incredible. We wouldn't know where to begin, to be perfectly honest with you. And Lee Marley is the biggest brickwork and scaffolding subcontractor in the UK. He's got 780 men, and it what he does is phenomenal. I mean, his one of his jobs over by the O2 run. He had like 150 bricklayers for 3 years just on one site. So high rise, not for us. He's done all right, Lee Marley. I wouldn't knock him. He's done all right. He's only been going about 20 years. Phenomenal growth that man is achieved. To be honest, I mean, we take on. I thought we done all right with apprentices, and he took on 45 last year. So it goes to show the level of the man. So I got a lot of admiration for what he does. To be honest with you, and he does it with scaffolding as well, and he's profitable. When am I going to do the pizza oven? When it stops raining. Jesus Christ, I'd do a flipping, I don't know, a boathouse, let alone a pizza oven. I mean, what am I going to put in it? Dry my wellies in it. Pizza oven is coming soon. So it's time of night I make my porridge before I go, but helps me sleep. Speaking of apprentices, I think you do well, mate, with them lads and getting them on the trail. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Liam is integral to our apprenticeship program. We tend to sling quite a few apprentices his way because he gets them well trained and on the path to success. So, but it's the key to our growth. We're doing it with scaffolders now as well. So, watch your space. So, if anyone's brave enough to be a scaffolding apprentice, we are hiring. So we've got two new developments starting shortly and scaffolding on them as well. So keep it going. Kept it going through COVID. Still recruited, and glad we did. And then want to get on. Want to take on. Want to take on 10 brickwork apprentices next year and 5 scaffolding apprentices. And then I can retire a little bit earlier than 65. Well, my retirement age is probably about 70, if I'm lucky. That's if I don't die of cold because the heating's so expensive. Oh, we're up to 15 viewers now. Come on, ask me some questions. You can come round mine. I have a fire. Just don't go burning any scaffold boards, Bri, because they're about 15 quid each at the moment. But yeah, I might just get a jumper for Christmas. Hey Tone, it's me. Oh, it's Mal. Oh, sorry, I thought that was an exclamation mark. Hey Mal. So Mal was Liam's wife. Who's the best sister-in-law? Controversial, Mal. Controversial. How many have I got? 3. Yeah, I can't even. It's too many in our family. I'll tell you tomorrow night, Mal. Who's the best brother-in-law? Liam said I'm the best brother. So Mal was Liam's wife. I don't know whether I said that, but anyway. When he's had a few. Have you heard of Norman Group? Nope, I haven't. Who are they? Let's have a quick search, shall we? Norman Group. Let's have a look. It's probably not them. Oh, Norman Brickwork Limited. Is that them? Burstow. Never heard of them. Brickwork scaffolding contractors. Yeah, professional website. Got to say, is that the people you mean? Seem all right. Never heard of them, no. Do you do much private work, mainly site work, and what do you prefer? I prefer site work. It's a lot easier. We do some private work on weekends and stuff, but yeah, site work's much easier. Favorite trowel? Just someone asked me that the other night, but just never really been bothered with trowels. I've always used a Marshalltown and normally a a rubber handled one. I don't like the wooden handled ones or the perspex ones, but I don't know, just a trowel, any trowel really. Are you all partners in the company? No, we're not. Not all partners. It's like cooking with tone, isn't it? It's me, isn't it, Liam? What's he on about? Oh, me. So Mal. Would you like to go live with any of the other YouTubers? Well, I don't really know many of them, to be honest. Changi was on here the other night. I kind of like his content, and he seems like a decent fella. Charlie Collerton, he's big time, so I don't think he's going to do a collab with me. The traditional bricklayer, I think we could have an interesting conversation. Me and Dean, I think it is. But I'm not overly concerned with what other people are doing. you know, good luck to them is what I say. You know, I hope they can earn a few quid if that's what they like, but probably help each other's channels grow if that's the goal. So I wouldn't be adverse to it. Do you use an umbrella company to pay your workforce sometimes? It is possible to pay them direct, Bri. It just involves a lot more paperwork and a lot more administration work. Charlie wants to travel around a little bit, does he? Do a bit. I'm not sure he could work for us, Ben. Not sure he's up to our standards, mate. I don't think he'd keep up with you anyway. So maybe we could do a race off. We'd take him on one of the privates, Ben. We'd take him to Bicester. He can work there. Oh, sorry, I lost the chat for a minute there. I'm not. I don't know, mate. He's pretty fast. Yeah, but Ben, is he as fast as you for as long as you, mate? Can he sustain it? He just does it for the video, mate. Just does it for a little snapshot, gets the footage, uploads it, and gets the views. No, I'm only joking. He's a good brickie. Not taking anything away from him. I tell you who else I do like. He's kind of a bit shot away. He goes to Thailand a fair bit. I can't remember his name now. He's a good brickie. He is a good brickie. Well, I think he's working on his own now. What's his name? I can't remember his name. It'll come to me in a minute. Tricky Bricky. That's it. Thanks, Bri. Tricky Bricky. I actually think he's a decent brickie. If you watch him, he's a decent brickie. He's interesting character too. He does a lot of lives. So I like him. He's a good lad. Excuse me. What I'm doing. Making my bedtime snack. Very knowledgeable he is. Yeah, I agree, Bri. I think you know, really, if you watch most people, you can learn something off some of them. Stu Compton does some lovely stuff. Yes, he does. He does some lovely detailed work. You know, particularly with brick on edge and piers and stuff. Does some cracking stuff. His YouTube feature brickwork wall he's done on his channel is amazing. Jesus Christ, Ben, you're going to form your own gang with a load of YouTubers, mate. Hey, Ben, the other thing is, mate, is, you know, you get to see a YouTuber almost every day. What I'll do is I'll drop him a message, Ben. See if we can get him on. See if we can get him on the channel. All right. See if we can pull it off. I like these live chats. I'm good, bro. I'm glad you enjoy it, mate. I'm glad someone does. Sometimes feels a bit lonely at times, mate. 'Cause no one talks to me. But you got to start somewhere, ain't you? I remember when I got my first subscriber, I started cheering. That's right, AD. I agree. If you can pick up a little bit from everyone, you soon be a fountain of knowledge. So I just had to get some milk. Not a big fan of milk, but it's full of hormones. But I'm out of almond milk. got some slurry tubs to try as well. George at BT Engineering sent me some slurry tubs. I'll give one to my brother Liam to try, and I'm going to use mine when I build my pizza oven when the rain stops. Have you ever seen them frames for door reveals? If so, would you recommend? I have seen them frames, Daniel. I think you're probably talking about, I think they're called the X frame or something like that, and you can adjust them and do your reveals. But most of our sites nowadays have window formers for all openings, including patio doors, bifold doors, front doors, obviously. So really, don't really need them, and sometimes easier just to stand up a frame. Even if it's a door frame, if you've got an 1800 door, just stand up a 900 door and use that. But them frames would probably be handy for private jobs, extensions, typically when you haven't got, proper window frames. But even going forward, if we was to do any extensions, which we don't do a great deal of, I ordered subframes for the 2 houses we're building. It's like 360 quid for 2 plots worth. It's a no-brainer, really. The gator boards, is that the plastic spot boards? It's too expensive for my liking. Too expensive. I think they're like 50 quid a board. I mean, I'm sure they're great, but nah, it's like lost, stolen, bloody people jack and taken with them. Chipboard floor all the way for me off the chippy. Just get the chippy, leave it on the joist when he's finished his joist. Yeah, right. When do you stop for Christmas? We think it's going to be the 21st, Bri. We think we're going to do the 21st, which is a Wednesday, I believe. And then we're going to come back on Wednesday, the 3rd, I think it is. So the Monday after bank holiday will be after the New Year's Day, will be a bank holiday. We'll let the sites mobilise on the Tuesday, and then we'll come back on the Wednesday, probably, subject to customers not kicking off and moaning, but we're probably going to break up on the 21st. Yeah, I'm not knocking the gator boards or anything. I think it does make sense, but I just think these people need to come down. I mean, I don't know what they cost to produce, so it's easy for me to say they need to be more affordable. But I just think, I mean, you might need 10 spot boards, 500 quid. It's a bit strong for me. Yeah, and that's a good point, Daniel. Sometimes you need that mortar, that moisture taken out of that mortar a little bit, depending on your brick type and that. How was COVID? Did you have to stop work or slim your workforce? Yeah, so we stopped work. My dad actually took the decision before Boris to close down the sites. We obviously wasn't, sure what was going to go on, and this big virus and what have you. So my dad actually called it a couple of days before Boris, and then we wrapped it up. And then we was off a few weeks, and then we had a gradual return back to work. We started back on the site maybe 4 or 5 weeks later with a 2-in-1. It's what we started with, and then it just gradually grew from there. So thankfully, COVID was relatively painless, if I can say that. No, we didn't lose anyone. We gradually, what we done is we had people return to work in, in terms of length of service, really, is thought of the fairest way we could do it. So Ben, for example, who works for us, was one of the first ones back for us, if not the first one back. And that's how we basically worked it out, and gradually it increased anyway. And then it was just crazy. I might have to grab a few estate agent signs, Lawrence. Might have to give that a go, mate. Might get nicked taking them, but hey. Right, unless anyone's got anything they want to add, I've got some editing to do before I head up to the wedding venue tomorrow. I'll get a bit of the wedding venue. I'll show you my outfit. I'll show you my new shoes. You can guess what new shoes I got. A bit of a mixture across the board, to be honest, Daniel, with the profiles. I do like the Blakes being a little bit more traditional. I do like a little bit of clearance around the corner, keep it nice and clean. But the box profiles are super quick, super convenient, super easy to carry. There aren't many people that know how to set up a Blake's profile right. Used to do my nut when I was on the tools. I used to have to set them up myself. Biggest tip I give with the Blakes is loosen the feet off at the bottom. Never touch the top one. Loosen the feet at the bottom before you put them up, and then you're always tightening instead of loosening, and then it holds firmer. And make sure they're square. That's a really good tip, that, Lawrence. I never knew that, and of course, really makes sense. But because they're sort of like a plasticky, it won't absorb the water, so might get some branded up, the A&D logo, put them on the store. I don't know whether you guys have checked out my store, but you can purchase my minimum standards guide, which will only improve your game. It's $4.99. It's on our Shopify account, and I've sold quite a few so far. Little plug there. Yeah, but to be fair, no one really takes the box profiles off until they finished with them, and then you get all the muck stuck behind, and then it stains the corner. A bit lazy. I want one of your hoodies. Should I put some of them available to purchase, Bri? Might be able to get you one for Christmas, mate. We're entering a tricky market, so I have to watch the pennies. And what size are you? A large. Yeah, you could say that, Lawrence, but then you could also make sure that your corner should be full. So I think Blake's ultimately give the best result, but the box profiles do have their place. But it's just evolution. People went from timber and then they went to the Blakes, and now you'll get the younger generation that won't know how to set up a Blakes, but now set up a box profile. So it's just evolution. It's just the way things go. Things evolve. People move on, and the box section's quite quick. And one thing I will say is they remain plumb. Unlike the Blakes, who can get dragged over if your line's too tight, and people don't. People leave the stabilizer right at the bottom. Another pet hate of mine. Move it up every few courses as you go. Do you think cornermen will ever come back? No, they got to stay in the boxing ring. I know Germany used to have things like that, but I can't see it ever taking off over here, really, or coming back. Stay in the boxing ring. Right, that is a wrap from me. Thanks for the interaction, people. Much appreciated. Do a few more of these, especially over the winter. Not a lot on telly. Oh, mind you, the World Cup coming up, so we can watch the World Cup. I think I've done a sweepstake. I think I've got Ecuador, South Korea, and Japan or something. So that's exactly what most of our lads do, Daniel, to be perfectly honest. That's how they roll. Stick the block work up. Although you're not even allowed to take the block work up more than 6 courses now without backing it up. But it's all full of bloody rules and regulations nowadays. And in reality, does it really affect the quality? Probably not. So thank you. Good night. Look out for this week's episode. It's going to be a good one. Touch on a recession a little bit of footage of the family wedding, meet some other members of the family, and see you Sunday night. So peace. Thanks for watching and thanks for interacting. Catch you all soon.